Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ecommerce Coffee Break podcast. Today we want to find out how you can create a beauty product line online in minutes without any risk. Now, I have absolutely no idea about beauty products, so I have an expert with me who can really dive deep into that and give us an idea on how that works. Our guest today is Adam Chuntz. He's the co-founder and CMO at BlankaBrand.com. He is a marketeer based in beautiful Vancouver with a robust background in marketing strategy and creative direction. He has over 20 years of industry experience, ranging from running his own creative agency to leading marketing and creative teams for retail brands to most recently co-founding Blanka, an e-commerce tech company focusing on empowering anyone to build their dream branded products online with ease. So we want to find out more about that. Let's welcome Adam to the show. Hi, Adam. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Klaus.
Adam, share a little bit about yourself, who you serve, and why you decided to start Blanka.
Yeah, for sure. Well, your introduction was incredible. It summed up a lot of it, but really my background, really comes from a space of everything from, full creative direction and design. I'm a really passionate designer. So that's a big piece of everything here around aesthetic and all that sort of side, as well as marketing. When we realize what marketing is at the end of the day, it's really how people think and how they react, and really digging into like the human psyche. So combining those two worlds over the last, couple decades for me was really fun. That turned quickly into us looking at a solution. My two other co-founders really looking at the state of the market and what was happening specifically in the beauty industry. We just saw this as something that was growing like crazy. It's a $430 billion industry right now, set to be a 470 or 520, depending on who you're asking, $1 billion industry by 2027. And 25% of the growth that's happening in that space is small, independent, emerging brands. Now, the big players out there that dominate that space, the Estee Lauders and the L'Oreals, et cetera, they can't innovate quickly. So that's why there's this big push with independent brands. And we just saw this moment saying, hey, our collective experience, we can help these independent brands start and scale brands fast and quickly with really high quality products. So that's sort of like spawned why we wanted to start Blanka in the space of the beauty market, in particular with really high quality North American made products. That was a big filter for us.
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand that big celebrities, Rihanna, J-Lo, Kardashians, they have their beauty lines, they have the power, they have the money behind that. And I think beauty and cosmetics, skincare is also not without any problems because you have to obviously to follow a lot of rules, FTC rules or whatever's coming in there. Tell me how you do it. How is it possible for small independent brands, creators to create their own beauty line?
Well, the beauty, no pun intended, of Blanka is that we've automated that process, and we've done it with vetting really high quality North American suppliers. So the suppliers that we work with and that we carefully curate our collection of several hundred products, we're almost at 400 products now, is that we have a really strict filter along what we put on the platform. In that, all the suppliers already go through all the testing, the shelf life, stability, all the different pieces to get, different approvals and create the actual stamps of approval that need to happen specifically from, the FDA and things like Health Canada, which are some of the strictest regulations in the world, most strict regulations in the world. So we know that our products are really high quality. So the sourcing that we do goes through lots of checks and balances, and also people on our team test and use them every day. So that's kind of a big filter of how we kind of go through that process. But Blanka, in a nutshell, the way that we've done it is that we've set it up to be low risk because not only do we not have any minimums on the platform, so you can start a product line in just minutes. You can do so without any minimums, so your overhead cost is next to nothing. But know that you have incredible high quality products, and then we all handle all the logistics and the shipping all the way to the end customer.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have an idea for a beauty line. I'm a small, medium enterprise or a solopreneur, a side hustler, anything like that. What's the process to get started? What's the first thing I need to think about?
Well, it's really simple. With Blanka, we've created a platform that literally you sign up, you upload your logo, we generate hundreds of product shots, which are the mock-ups of your product, exactly with your branding on it. So all you need is a logo at that point. You click one button, you connect to your online store, and then you just start selling. As soon as you get an order, it flows right through to us, and then we print the logo directly onto those products and we ship it to the end customer. So as long as you have a logo and a bit of an idea of what you want your website to look like, handle that side of things, you're ready to go with Blanka.
Mm-hmm. How does it work? Obviously, as the final seller, I want to test the product. I want to have a sample. I want to have something in my hands to really feel it and to get an idea what it is. How does that work?
Yeah, so we sample products. That's definitely one of the first steps that a lot of people take. We refer to our customers as merchants, and the typical life cycle is someone, they go through the process and they see what their brand looks like on all the products, but then they also do pick out several samples and order them to themselves to test, to show their friends, to see, what the market reception would be like. And also the main thing is just look at quality of the product and make sure they like it. As we all know with e-com, what you see on a screen and what you see in real life can differ. We just try really hard to make sure that it's as close to that process as possible with really clear descriptions and visuals and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me an example of a customer stories of yours? You don't need to tell the brand, but how they got started and where they are nowadays?
The beauty of our platform, and this is probably my favorite part of it, is that we do give anyone the ability. So we really do empower almost anyone to create their own product line. And this happens, we see these stories happen all the time. One in particular, this girl that was studying, she was a fitness instructor. She went through this incredible program through the school, and she'd already built this incredible community, and she had all of this stuff happening with her own life already as a fitness instructor. But she realized very quickly that the makeup products she was using were not up to par. And at the gym, she wanted to look good and feel good. So she was sweating through her makeup. And the product that we sell, she really leaned into and realized that it was actually like a sweat-proof product. So she's built this entire brand based on this whole solution that one of our products has provided. But because she already had this incredible community and following with her clients and all of the things she did around fitness, she's built this incredible business that has really scaled up not only her existing training platform, but now she sells on this additional full product line to support it. So seeing her growth over the last few years, she was one of our actual first merchants, and she is scaling so quickly. It's absolutely incredible to watch.
Mm-hmm. That's a great story. I mean, just having an idea and already having some kind of audience is a good start there. I can imagine that your products are a good base for any kind of subscription model when it comes to e-commerce, because obviously if you have a lipstick that will be gone at some point and people might want to have more. Is that something you support as a platform?
Yeah, technically. So we do have several merchants that set up their own subscription model. So it's more of a recurring process that rolls through on there. When it comes to how our merchants want to show up, we try and give them as much information and guidance along the different e-commerce solutions, such as subscriptions or bundling, things like that. We do support it for sure. The nature of having zero minimums is that lead times can vary. So we encourage ordering a bit of inventory that we store on site and ship it, so we can turn it around very quickly. So essentially we turn into like a 3PL or like a shipment facility rather than just printing on demand and shipping out, which both options work. But if it's a subscription, we definitely want more of that inventory to be able to turn things around very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm. My experience with beauty, and as I said in the beginning, I'm not really a customer for beauty products, but what I see, branding is very, very important. The packaging is important, inserts are important, everything like that. How do you help with that?
Yeah, it's a great question. And truly it is. Brand is the number one thing that differentiates most businesses out there. Specifically, something from like a visual identity to how they show up, from their values and all of the other pieces of a business that's going to be that other customers will connect with. Ultimately, we try to provide as much help and detail through blog posts, through some of our marketing opportunities that we sell, to help them kind of grow through and do more brand development. But in that, as someone is going through the process of visualizing their logo on products, we provide a little bit of insight into saying, "Oh, this logo might not look so good on like a really small product. You might need to kind of remove this or tweak that." So we do provide a lot of that kind of direct feedback. In addition, we also have the ability to do a full design for them if they want. So we offer like logo design services and things like that. With brand, as you were mentioning, it's really, really important for that differentiation. Specifically for a solution like ours, you're essentially selling the same product to someone else, but your brand and your positioning can totally differentiate how you sit in the market, where your audience sits. So branding is really, really important.
Mm-hmm. A lot of listeners might now be curious and try to find out how much money they can make. Can you give me an idea about profit margins? What's possible?
Yeah, great question. Well, the true costs of using Blanka, not unlike a lot of other services, is first of all, it's a subscription platform to access. So it's a monthly fee. It's really nominal. Our plans range from free all the way to $99 a month. And you can do anything you want in that range. Our costs are really low, specifically for, having zero minimums. That's a massive factor. If you were to look at finding a traditional supplier where you'd have to order thousands of minimums, thousands of products at a minimum, that would cost you lots of money. So we kind of take that burden as well there. Generally, our markup, like what most of our merchants mark up the cost of the product that we sell them, is at least 4 to 5 times. That's entirely up to what the merchant wants to do in terms of how they're going to position the brand. We do recommend a markup. The one we do recommend is in a typical sort of retail markup. It's about 4 times what the actual product cost would be. But again, it all depends on who your audience is and where that can sit. So you do stand to make a lot of profit. That way you can just take all those extra dollars and focus on the sales and marketing and bring it to life.
Yeah, I think it's particularly important nowadays as ad costs are rising and they will never go back to cheaper prices, that you have a good profit margin there. And if you have a product that you can, as I said, 4 or 5 times is easily be doable, that's really a good business concept. Let's talk a little bit about the technical side of things, about integrations. Most of our listeners run Shopify stores or any other kind of online stores that might be WooCommerce. With whom do you integrate, and what's kind of the integration process and then the onboarding process?
Yeah, integrations are crucial to a business like ours. Specifically, we directly went to Shopify from the beginning. About 70% or so of our customer base is based on Shopify. The integration is super simple. We have a one-click installation. You can either download it directly or add it directly through the Shopify app ecosystem. Or just by visiting our website and then clicking from there. It's very easy as long as you have a store set up. If you don't have a store set up, during that onboarding process of adding the app, it will ask you to also create the store on Shopify itself. As soon as it's connected, we have access to send and receive order information, send and receive product information, such as all the images, the descriptions, the pricing, all that sort of stuff. And everything that you would need on that side. So it's completely integrated from one click essentially. That's Shopify. We do directly integrate with Wix as well, which is another big and fast growing e-commerce platform that people are now leaning into as well as other options. And as always, as an open source and very focused on a lot of democratization of things. Ecommerce, although smaller, it's been around for a long time. We do directly integrate there. In addition, we have an open API, so we plug into several kind of third-party platforms as well, very easily. And then, last but not least, we can always do a sort of manual integration with more of a custom e-commerce platform.
Mm-hmm. Who's your perfect customer, or better said, who do you serve? Is it only United States, other countries? Where can I use Blanka?
Blanka's global. At the end of the day, we ship all over the world, minus just a few countries that are very difficult to ship cosmetics and beauty products into due to different legislation and regulations. But the majority of our customer base is from the US. So we do ship traditionally mostly into the US, as well as Europe is a big bucket as well. And the Middle East, we actually have quite a lot of customers there. And then through kind of Asia or Eurasia areas around Australia, we've got a lot of customers down there as well. Quite often we are shipping very global though. The nature of e-commerce is it depends on who finds you where and where you're gonna ultimately ship to. So that's that on that side of things. Outside of geography, our core customer base at the moment is really around entrepreneurs, net new entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, anyone that's looking for a side hustle, as you mentioned at the beginning. Really, we do provide that solution. The next big bucket are beauty professionals. So anyone, say a makeup artist or an esthetician or say a salon owner that wants to, instead of selling someone else's products or promoting someone else's, they want to sell and promote their own. This is a great way for them to get their foot in the door and start building their own product line and using it on their own customers as well, proving the quality and all that sort of stuff. So that's the best way for them to bring that to life. And then the third is really on more of the creator side of things. So creators and influencers, same reasoning. Instead of promoting someone else's products, why not promote their own and go through that route? We've seen this in more of the apparel industry a little bit over the last couple of years. A lot of creators are starting to sell their own apparel. Essentially, we're doing the same thing, but with beauty products. And then the last but not least is existing brands. So we have, say, a clothing company that wants to have a line extension or test the market with, say, a new type of product. They would come to us and say, do a skincare line. And we do provide that at very low risk compared to the normal way that they would have to do so.
Mm-hmm. No, it really democratizes the market there. So everyone can go ahead and have his own beauty product. One question I forgot to ask earlier is, do you only serve with your products women or also men?
No, we have a good chunk of male customers on our platform as well. It's actually amazing the variety of the types of people that are on there selling. We do have men's products as well, but we do have a lot of anyone selling almost any type of product. So we do have a men's line that does, we've got shaving and beard and hair products and solid colognes and all sorts of stuff on that side, as well as full skincare. And then on the other side of things, we have lots of different skincare options that are, gender agnostic. There's lots of different stuff there, from serums to, different facial procedures and things like that. And then normal color cosmetics. So it really depends on who your end audience is, however that comes to life.
Okay, no, makes perfect sense. Before we come to the end of the coffee break today, is there anything that you want to share with our listeners that we haven't covered yet?
I think it's just really the importance of creating something unique. We talked a little bit about brand and differentiation earlier, but how else do you win out there? It's one of those things of creating differentiation and finding those moments that really make success, especially in e-com. It's so busy, it's so saturated. So how do you do that? And some of the things that we've seen be really successful on our platform are really limiting the amount of SKUs. So getting a few hero products on your website, instead of saying, adding 30, 40, 50 of all these products, getting 1 to 5 SKUs is where that real sweet spot is, and making that the hero. Sure, within that product, you can have different colors and different variations, but it allows you to really nail down that storytelling and what you bring that product to life, how you bring that product to life, which allows you to create a story really around your brand and like why you're selling that product, and really curate what you're selling. And then beyond that, it's having that community. So building the community first really helps. Obviously from the creator side of things and some of the beauty professionals, they already have that community they can get into. But from there, you can always build community with really unique approaches and just being more guerrilla and focusing on unique ways to bring brands to life, not just online. I think omnichannel is super, super important these days. Not just online. You're also doing things like pop-ups and events, and maybe you have a small retail table at, say, a local store that's more on the small side of things. So I think the collective there, all those different things together really, help set you up for success, rather than just try to rely on, I'm going to create something and put a logo on it. I'm going to put hundreds of products online and someone's going to find it. That's not really how you're going to succeed. It could happen, but it's better to be more intentional about how you bring things to life.
Yeah, I think you just gave me and our listeners a complete masterclass there on how to build a beauty brand online and also on how not to do it. I think the last bit to say, not just throw 100 of products online and hope for the best, that usually doesn't work, but building a brand with storytelling, that's great advice. Where can people find out more about you?
You can visit the website at BlankaBrand.com. That's Blanka with a K. That's the easiest way to find us, or just Googling Blanka or beauty products and we'll show up. And that's it. All the information's there, or find us on any of the Shopify or Wix app stores. Very easy to find there as well.
Okay, I will put the links in the show notes as always, then you're just one click away. Adam, thanks so much for giving us an overview. I said I learned a lot. Beauty product is a huge market, I know that, but I didn't know that it is so easy to get into the market. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Klaus. Appreciate it.
Hey, Klaus here. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Before we wrap things up, I've got a couple of important points to share. Firstly, if you have enjoyed today's episode and want to support the show, here's a simple way to do it. Help me out with that algorithm magic by liking, commenting, and subscribing on your favorite podcast app. And if you're feeling extra generous, leaving a rating would be great. Your support helps me bringing more impactful guests on the show, and it makes it easier for others to discover the podcast. Secondly, I want to talk about to all your business owners out there. Here's a question. Are you tired of juggling everything in your business while struggling with your marketing tasks? Fed up with hit and miss experiences of hiring freelancers or agencies that don't quite get your vision? But perhaps you're not ready to commit to a full-time in-house marketer just yet. Well, I've got a solution for you. Introducing our fractional marketing team. My team and I provide top-notch experienced marketing professionals to become an extension of your business. Not only will they save you up to 50% on cost compared to traditional hires, but they also take care of all this time-consuming, repetitive and complex marketing tasks that have been holding you back. And this way, you can concentrate on what truly matters, the core of your business. To learn more about how we can help you to scale up your online sales with a fractional team member, head over to our website, smart-ecommerce-marketing.com, or reach out to me directly and I'll get you the details. You will find the links in the show notes. Thanks for being a part of our podcast community, and remember, your support means the world to me. Until next time, see you then.